right? And of course, not it's not only by fixing the access problem that everything kind of works. No? Kasi if you have access for something that you don't find value, I don't think you'd ever visit it. That's why the second point is, we wanted to provide a full suite of products. That's why I remember earlier I was mentioning financial independence. Financial independence, to be very clear, from the perspective of Singlife Philippines, it's not just insurance. It's holistic, serving different purpose. And primarily, if I can name maybe top 4 needs, right, that needs to be addressed. No? There is a transactional aspect of our day-to-day lives, from a financial services standpoint. I'll get to that into the detail later. No? Transactional aspect. There is the savings aspect, right? Because not everything that you save, you would want to be locking in and trapping and losing the liquidity for a very long period of time. There is also that portion that maybe this one I want to be investing, right? This is the third one, investing because I want to be maximizing my returns. I don't need it now. I may need it in the future, and putting it in the savings maybe not the best, way to do it. And the fourth one is insurance, right? So we've created this concept of a Singlife account. So I'm not sure how many of you have already have a Singlife account. If you guys still don't have, the gentleman there is going to assist you to give you, for today, Singlife credits or free credits that you can that comes with the financial value that they are actually able to use for purchasing an insurance. So the Singlife account, again, I'm just talking about the transactional account. Is an account that is linked to every single policy that the customer has with us, right? Not very different from a wallet, right? Ngayon, pumasok kayo sa wallet, makita nyo, there are a lot of use cases. May bills pay, may transfer, but ultimately the wallet is where the money is contained. That is the Singlife account. The difference, right? We pay up to 15% then per annum in the Singlife account. Right? 15% then. That's the best in the market today. And if you ask me, if I am going to get paid 15% then for the littlest money that I have, it's satisfaction. Immediately there's satisfaction, but we don't stop there. If you take a look into the labels on top of each color-coded section, we are looking into providing solutions for death and disability, hospital confinement and critical condition, investments, and very recently we've launched our funeral product, right? So that's that's a very important concept for us to provide a holistic, right, solution to the customer. So let's talk about what we've achieved in just 5 years. Right, so ito po yung numbers, so we've sold over 1 million policies since 2020. So there's really a case, There's really a case. We've not been around for a very long time, but for a 5-year period, for somebody, for a player to have sold over 1 million policies, right? For a market where there's a penetration of only less than 2% for the last 128, 129 years. Right? It validates that indeed there is interest and there's legitimate need and demand for the services. It's just that it was not been made available in the past. So, hindi lang po kami namumulekta po ng premium. So, we also pay out. Yan po ang pinaka-importante, diba? So, one of the things that we heard as a voice of the customer is there's a bit of a distrust, because there's no, at least back in the day, there's no immediate and tangible value that the customers would be getting the moment that they pay the premium. Right? Today, meron na. Mag-set up kayo ng Singlife account, right? Kikita na kayo ng 15% net per annum, credited on a monthly basis. So we created that concept of what we call, later on I'll dwell into that, present value, present benefit. Kasi sa insurance mo, yung parating binibenta ng mga naglalako po ng insurance, death benefit. Buhay na buhay ka pa, sir. Namatay kayo. Ito po matatanggap ng ano. Anong matatanggap ko? Wala po. Kukunin lang namin yung pera nyo. so, that's one benefit. And the other benefit is we call it living benefit. Sometimes I call it barely living benefit kasi kailangan nyo magkasakit ng malubha, mabulag, mawalan ng daliri para makuha nyo yung benepisyo. Yeah. Right? And now, we go on to the concept of a present benefit. Present benefit, diba? Bukod po dun sa claims. In fact, we're talking only about actual claims. No? The amount of interest that we're paying to the customers, hindi pa po bilang dyan. Right? But I'll dwell on the present benefit a bit later on, and maybe on the Q&A, very interesting engagement as well. And the unique lives following the threat of the policies, sold this over about $1 million also, right? Now on the mobile app, I'm actually pleased to share also na for a very new player. Our mobile app is not 5-year-old, by the way. Our mobile app, we've only launched it in 2023. So about maybe barely a couple of years old, but we've got about 1.4 million installs already, and we've issued about 45,000 via the app, right? This year was a very special year for us in terms of the mobile app because we have doubled down on building capabilities, right? To allow customers to have better use of the app. Kasi let's just say specialized app would actually be usable only for one purpose. I wouldn't name names of an industry, but example, a fast food app. The only thing that you can do in a fast food app is to order like a burger and fries and have it delivered. But if you're not craving for burger and fries, there's really no reason for it to be going in there. So that's why this year, 7X po, yung na-generate namin na business po in the app. Not really because we've sold and launched very many new products, but we built use cases to support it. Kami lang pong insurance company na yung Singlife account po na binabanggit ko. May InstaPay po yun. Gusto nyo ilabas ang pera ninyo? Ipadala nyo sa ibang wallet, padala nyo sa bank account. Right? Nagamit sa Singlife account na kumikita, na kailangan kayo. Meron po kami InstaPay capability. People can pull in money into their account coming from banks, like and wallets like BPI, Union Bank, Maya, and GCash. Naglagay din po kami ng credit card at debit card. And marami pa pong parating na mga innovation na sa palagay po namin ay magbibigay po ng mas marami pang dahilan para yung mga customers bukod sa magbabayad ng premium. Kasi hindi naman po kayo, sa totoo naman po, hindi naman po kayo araw-araw bibili ng insurance, di ba? So what we want to happen is that the moment you buy an insurance, even if you're not looking at buying your second policy or third policy coming into the future, that there is tangible benefit that you're able to use into going to the mobile app. So what's powering this growth? Ang kagandahan po, I'm very pleased to report, we've achieved double-digit in premium income growth in premium income for the first half of 2025. Right? I don't think that this kind of growth has been seen in any insurance business, right? Especially for a startup. And total sum assured, ito po yung halaga ng buhay na pinoproteksyonan po ng Singlife. Lumago po ng over 20%. So, ang naging, gaya po ng binabanggit ko, one of the things that help us to really encourage, so to speak, the customers would be yung mga programa po namin, the 15%, right? Because again, we call it a Super Boost program, 15% net. So customers are able to get more of their money, more from their money, and we also have the Singlife Champion, right? Ito pong Singlife Champion, ano lang po ito? Again, it's our fancy term of calling yung referral program po namin, right? Kasi ang idea po namin, alam niyo meron kayong nakakita na sale, right? Tapos naging ang tawag sa inyo, naging ahente ng gastos, di ba? Tapos tatawagan yung mga kaibigan ninyo. This is unbelievable, di ba? You're gonna tell them of the phenomenal deal that you have gotten. Ito, hindi kayo binabayaran ng brand na sinabihan nyo na siya. Dito po, we reward both ways. Right? We reward those customers who refer new customers. And the customers that have been referred, marami pong welcome offers also. Right? So, when I came into Singlife Philippines, a little over a year ago, I told the team that we're going to stop selling insurance, and I think there was a surprise in their face. No? And why are we going to stop selling insurance, right? Because for me, and Singlife, the philosophy is that insurance, at the end of the day, has to come to a point that it's a product or a service or a solution that is already being bought. Kasi pag necessity, di ba? Pagkain, inumin, yung mga damit, hindi naman kailangan ibenta, di ba? These are what they call products that are bought. They're not sold. Sometimes you buy more than what you plan to buy. So ultimately, that's been our direction. And for us to be able to do that, it has to be worth our customers' while. And this is one way for us to kind of, propagate. We're quite confident with the program. Kasi kung hindi po okay yung program, kung hindi po okay yung mga solution na nararanasan ng mga customer dun sa services po namin, hindi naman mag-refer yun. Right? So by having such program, we're burdened and challenged to make sure that the customer journey is really truly seamless, right? And the benefit that they get out of the hard-earned money that they put in there is actually well worth it. Yep. But beyond numbers and awards, what we're most proud of is yung mga customers that we are serving. Right? This year, fairly recently, we've been given 3 awards by the Asian Banking and Finance for technically categories that we truly care about. One is mobile app. Right? We've been awarded as as best mobile app, right? Particularly on the perspective of customer onboarding. Right? We've also been awarded, on the product category, which is the best, fintech product, right? And customer experience info. So 3 awards, big awards, which is not, and I want to be very clear, not revolving around the metrics, simply the metrics of the company. Wala po siya, hindi po kami na-award na hindi po yung award na yan is most growth or most profits generated. These are awards for the customer, CX, product, mobile app, right? Because for us, our philosophy, we will get there, right? You solve a genuine problem for the customers, we will generate legitimate business. So one thing we're really proud of, we did a recent survey, right? A recent survey. Before that, this one, we've done a recent survey. 60% of the customers that we're able to bring on board, it's their very first time to be buying an insurance product. Right? So to me, I think it's very good, right? Because we are truly solving the uninsured, underinsured problem, in the country, right? And we're just barely scratching the surface, right? And 73% of the respondents are millennials in Gen Z. So I think there's a good cross, no? Millennials, categorically, I'm still a millennial, right? Categorically. So I feel that the millennials are not too young, not too old as well, but the Gen Z are on the younger contingent, no? But for both generations being just as responsive, no, to what we're serving, I think is speaks a lot, no? Right? Top three reasons: convenience, affordability, and suitability of the product. Before we've thought that the products would really have to be extremely cheap just for people to take it up. To our surprise, it didn't have to be, right? We make it convenient enough, customers actually pick it up, right? Because at the end of the day, for us to be able to provide more sophisticated solutions, it will still come at relatively a bit of a price. Again, but it depends really on the preference of the the customer. So yeah. So as we grow, as we grow with our customers, we're evolving also how we show up, right? That's why I think one of the focus areas also in our discussions this afternoon, and I think Chad will show some clips later, is how we are presenting or representing a brand new feel and look of the brand of Singlife Philippines. But I think I skipped one portion. Just on the trust pilot, I think I wanted to cover that. So ito pong trust pilot rating, we take very seriously. The trust pilot rating is the rating that our customers provide to us for whenever they do transactions with us. So there's about 7,000, over 7,000 5-star reviews, right? And our current aggregated rating right now is at about 4.6, right? If you ask me, are we happy with 4.6? I'm still challenging the team to bring it up higher. But to give you an idea, who can guess what's the average trust pilot score of a, wag na insurance company, but financial services? Anybody can guess?
Maybe 3.
3, right? The average trust pilot rating for a financial services is 3. At one point, we're quite well pleased that we have that distinction of being 4.6, which is quite far from 3. But to us, it has to be even higher, right? And it's not because we're just looking at the numbers plainly. Rather, it's because we see so much more opportunities on how we can improve. The customers, the journey, the solutions that we provide, right? And that's why we are here. No? So we are refreshing our brand, and we're bringing in vibrant colors, bolder visuals, and a more dynamic identity that speaks to who our customers are today. This is just, hindi lang po siya rebrand, no? Hindi lang namin pinapaganda yung logo namin sa yung mga picture namin. But it's a recommitment to being more human, more present, and the most important term is more relevant. Right? Finance is something that is closely embedded in our in our daily life. So if people are not able to relate to what they're seeing, it'll be very difficult for them to even take interest. So I want to take a moment to bring this to life with our new brand video. You can spare a few minutes to have a look into it.